All right. Close that. Let me get my chat open. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Let me see something here. For 6 minutes anyway. Good morning. Let me review that. All right. All right. So our battle plan there. Let's bring it to battle plan trade number 2. Bounced exactly where we thought it would bounce. 6835.75. What was the low of that candle? Come on, that's fun. 6835.75. Very nice. You got to love that. Let me remove this. Beautiful. All right. So at this point, eyeballs are on battle plan trade number 2 here. Of course, bank holiday, right? Veterans Day, federal holiday. Banks usually follow it. Okay. So expect very little. Expect very little. We've had a monster 2-day move, a day of doing nothing. And apparently, if they do reopen the government, I think the word is it takes 3 days for them to get numbers together. So there still may not be a CPI, but who knows? Yeah, good morning. Alex, you just had the most disgusting price action to trade overnight. I only see one trade. It's funny. I don't normally eat breakfast anyway, but in a morning where you have a fasting lab and you can't eat for some reason, you're hungry. It's like, come on now. I think I'm gonna try my hand today and make homemade sloppy joes. I love that sloppy joe stuff. It's in a can, but it's got high fructose corn syrup, and so today I'm browning some meat in the crock pot this morning. I'm gonna try my hand at my own sloppy joe. That's what I was researching this morning before I went to my homemade sloppy joe recipes. Good morning there, Darren, Mr. Jackie, Mr. Roger. Nice to see all you guys. Certainly, bank holidays are typically not good trade days, just in general. Um, and then we've had a 2-day monster run. Um, really, no level development overnight. So there's really nothing that exciting here. I would really need to see it reclaim this strong range to be of interest. As we marked yesterday in the longer AM briefing, this value area high for the week. So, this is going to provide not a little bit, it's going to provide some, it's going to be hard to get through it. It's going to be hard to get through, but if we get through it, we're golden. All right, first 6 minutes is over. Let me look at one thing, make sure you're hearing that. You are. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. Look at Dow, baby. So we certainly aren't all on the same train. I am on a 10-minute chart just because I'm not looking at micro gyrations here. We need to get above this level. We can go ahead and go to a 3-minute chart though. Let's go ahead and turn on our essentials. All right, let's turn that off. 3.2 ATR for the opening candles here. Yeah. So we will keep the single prints here. It bounced beautifully. RTH needs to touch them for them to be removed. But somewhere between the single prints and half back, is really where the bulls want to defend. NQ is already there. We are under VWAP. But at the end of the day, yesterday's POC did move up to here. So it's all very bullish. Ideally, we'd like it to bounce off the opening here and get back above here and clear this. And then maybe gives us something here. Judging off the overnight press action, I don't know if we're going to do that. We will wait. Very lethargic price action here at the beginning. Most likely we're going to get a small opening range warning. That's what it's looking like right now.
Level, no trade, period. Make price come to you. No prediction trading. What are the break levels telling you?
Break levels are telling me that, yeah, we've laddered down in the overnight session, but can't create a backside to save its life. And, one of my general rules is when the bulls are in control and we're above the bull bear line, I've got to give them, and we're, up 200 points from Friday's low. And the bears, so when the bulls are in control, in my opinion, and the bears cannot create a backside, it's usually not a good thing for shorts. If anything, we'd love to see it take out the overnight low, ladder back with the vengeance. And we would trade that. For anyone coming in late, just a reminder, it is a bank holiday. Usually not the best day to trade. We're probably going to have a small range warning, which tells you it's probably not even worth trading. We were hoping for a bounce off the opening, reclaim the strong range. Level development seems minimal to non-existent. Don't try to be a hero today. Not the type of price action to do that, in my humble opinion. Nvidia down 2%. I saw some large bank or something sold $2 or $3 billion worth of Nvidia. I have no clue if any of those things are related. Certainly not on the same train. Slop and chop day recipe seems to be what's going to be in order, which means very little level development. Certainly would be looking to trade an edge. So let's go ahead and make a new low here. Let's take out the London, maybe even tag up with the half back. So, if we could get something in this vein here. But I think we're going to have a small range day. We'll see. Down to the half back is somewhere in there. And then see if we can get back up. See how far that is. That would be let's see. Back and forth through the opening. Still inside of the London range. Downward sloping VWAP. Kind of feel like if Dow decided to come in, we would all have a move down. All-time high still way up there. We'll hang back and wait. Hang back and wait. No rush. It's a long day if you wanted to trade today. Back and forth through the opening. Complete indecision. And the other possible way to look at this is, does Russell grab this low and it comes back up, and then because we're above the half back, that could be an interesting springboard. But gosh, I got nothing for you really other than let's wait. So for battle plan trade number 2, the notes on that was tap the single prints at 6835.75, which is where we tapped. Reclaim the strong range here. In fact, battle plan trade 2 is over here. Snappy ladder back action. This is not snappy ladder back action yet. This up move already feels a little extended. But we will trade what is in front of us. This would be a small entry in my humble opinion, but you do you. So those are my notes on battle plan trade number 2 there. Now that we have the entire overnight session to look at, this would be a setup we're interested in. If it bounces off here, gets above the strong range, I think we have a legit entry. I wish it hadn't taken the RTH high, though. I like that magnet. first 15 minutes is over. See if this thing can start getting peppy, snappy. We need a level. No level, no trade. And don't drop in time frames to look for levels. You don't need to do that. One of the paths I see new traders in our group do is they come in and they're really successful on the 3-minute chart. Just bang, 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 bang. They're like, you know what? I want more. If I drop in time frames, I'll find more entries. And then your butt gets handed to you. Really, the 3-minute chart is the gold standard. The only time I really want you to drop in time frames is, let's say we're at a battle plan trade location and we're looking for maybe the first ladder. We're looking for a reason to maybe get in earlier off of a battle plan trade location. It does a liquidity grab off a session high or low, and you want to play that in the direction of who controls. The other time that you can drop in time frames, in my opinion, you've got a beautiful 3-minute level. It's just gorgeous. Let's say it's a front side and a fair value gap. It's got a long wick, though, a little bit more of a stop loss than you might want to take. Well, maybe you drop to a 1-minute chart and see if there's a greedier entry, but a 3-minute already exists. So there's a 3-minute level. It's clean, clear, crisp, and beautiful. And you want to look for a greedier entry. Drop to a 1-minute chart, see if there's a greedier entry. Now, it's a 3-minute level. It's a 1-minute level. That's going to work better for you than trying to find more. You don't need more trades. What you need to do is hold runners better for those moves that do it. You don't need more trades. So careful dropping in time frames to look for more trades. It's not really needed. Your 3-minute chart is going to give you 2 to 12 setups a day. You just got to be patient. And then it kind of starts the spiraling thing. And then before you know it, I'm saying go back to basics. Go back to basics. Quit being fancy schmancy. So I told Matt we would discuss that this morning. Good morning, Claude. Does that speak to you, Matt? Big old wiki wicks. So, if you traded the Apex here, you did fine. Apex is the most risky. We're looking for it to ladder here. And maybe it'll make a new low and give us a better trade opportunity. It is a bank holiday, so careful, careful. You took a lot of heat on that short. If you held it for long, I didn't ask you how you did on it. It was back and forth through your entry. And I was like, I don't know who knows? You might be a trillionaire and you can hold all that, All right, finally a little 8-point candle, little volatility here. Very nice. 10 minutes to the top of the hour. We are still in a small 10-point range. Nothing exciting here. No level development. That is true, James. The 4-pack is all over the place. Usually says complex chop today. After 2 days of basically straight up for 200 points or so, we got to expect that. I'd like a sharp vomit or day or so of consolidation. Give us something to trade around. I like to trade when that 3 minute ATR is up there 6 or so, 6 to 8. Expect very little touch and goes today on our levels. Although 35.75 bounced to the tick, but still doesn't really look like it was that much of a touch and go. All right, we're under the opening. We're under VWAP. We're in the lower distribution of the overnight session. Let's see what it does when RTH taps the single prints and it was a lazy touch and go. That's a great way to describe that. It's a great way to describe that. Certainly didn't have that single wick, You got two of them there. But, let's say you would have taken that. Is there anything in this price action that would have told you it might be different? Probably not. But it's still fine. Depending on if you did a nice ATM strategy on that, you could still be long. Now, I hope it comes down into here. I do. But we also see in many cases when the bulls control, they don't have to grab this low to get back up and go, go, go. And it often traps people who are like, I'm going to go short to grab the overnight low. I'm going to go short to grab the overnight low. And then it doesn't. And they have to run out of their trade. Their prediction trading. Yeah, I would have too. I wouldn't have taken it in this particular case because it's not like we're in an amazing trade location. As I said in the write up for the battle plan, we're closing in the upper distribution of the RTH range. This is my least favorite place to initiate a new trade idea. And it's true. There are no preferred trades for this reason. We need a day or two of consolidation or a monster vomit. We're up 200 plus points from Friday's low. Nothing of high quality exists up here, up this high on the chart. Just be careful. Small is beautiful. All right, back to the opening.
Bigger picture. Single prints. Ranges.
Still inside the London range.
Stretch. Workout. Get up.
As we said, when the bulls control, they often don't grab that overnight low to make a move to the north. Difficult to prediction trade that, but to me, it's a confirmation that the bulls are certainly in control. It didn't have to grab the overnight low to make that strong move there. Three minutes to the top of the hour. Just not high quality price action here, my humble opinion. This thing comes back down here to 44 to the opening. If you wanted to try along there, you could. Um, or we wait till it gets above the strong range. Okay, about to take the overnight high. I'm so sorry. The London high. Beautiful. See if we can clear the strong range here. Okay, Russell turn around. Dow still pushing. Bulls control. Shorts are counter. Small if at all. Let's clear this up some. One minute to the top of the hour. So my mapping has it coming somewhere at about here-ish, pulling back in. You know as well as I do, you can trade the top of the strong range. You can trade the bottom of the strong range. Um, it went right to the top of the strong range. We want it to clear the strong range. So beautiful touch, beautiful touch. Now we need to get it back above. Now we did grab the London. So let's see what kind of pullback in this thing's going to have. I still think 34. I'm sorry. Like 44 to the opening if you wanted to take a long there. Bank holiday. I actually would prefer to come down here and prove to me you're going to bounce and get back above. Let's do, this is a better trade with this crap action. Oops. Sorry. Sometimes I grab that dang Zoom window. So 44 to 42, an area for a small long. based off everything I'm seeing, there's no sense in loading up. And if it bounces and gets above the strong range, perhaps we can look to add to that trade. I'm already long, so I'm not going to be looking to add here. See if we can clear this strong range. Tesla down, Nvidia down, Microsoft down, Meta down. All of us are in the upper distribution of yesterday's range. Dow is above previous day high. The bulls got the London high. We're above the opening, and we're above VWAP at this time. So we certainly fall inside of the small range alert. Certainly a see money, take money type of price action. That doesn't mean it can't turn into a trend day, but it's very rare. Very rare. So I would be looking now to trade more of the edges than anything in the middle. So let's get down here and grab the overnight low. Let's come towards the half back. Be careful trading in the middle. I prefer to see this mapping. And if it bounces between the 44 and the 42 and gets back above the strong range, cool. We can trade that. Wow. All right, let's see if it wants to bounce between this 44 and 42, get back above the strong range. But this is really looking like not a good trade day. There's easier days to trade than when we get a small range warning and the 4-pack is all over the place. I mean, look at that. If you're going to trade, let's get an edge. Let's get to an edge. Whoops. Let's get to an edge. Let's pull this all back in. Okay. If I wasn't long, I am waiting for us to get a little further down or bounce off 42, which is the opening, bounce off the opening, get back above this strong range. Otherwise, let's take it down and see what happens. You got 8-point, you got 3 8-point candles, and we went where? Nowhere. It's not really good tradable price action. So now if you took the 44 to 42 because you're aggressive, just put your stop, in my opinion, just like a tick underneath that candle and just paper cut stop loss. It is what it is. Who cares? We take losses and then take the next trade. Personally, I would be waiting for us to come down here. I feel like we're getting closer to an edge. or we break up here. That's where I'm interested in engaging in price. And look at that instant little pop on that candle. Woo! All right, so we took the overnight low, officially took the single prints in the RTH session. We can remove those. Now we're going to drop in time frames. Now I'm interested in dropping in time frames. Let's see what happens here. Let's see where NQ is. Unfortunately, NQ is well below the half back there. But certainly it's got a 30-minute level just a little bit further down. No rush to be in a trade. No rush. I'm interested in this mapped out trade here. If he gives it to us, great. If not, oh well, we wait for the next trade. If you took the overnight low long, be protective. Don't let it go against you. Very nice. I'm personally waiting for laddering. I'd like to see price push down and be pushed back up, or it just fair value gaps really strong over the opening. Either of those are fine with me. Very nice. Can we clear the opening? Can we clear VWAP? Can we clear the strong range? I'd still like to see it push down to somewhere in here and get back above. Prove to me you're going to defend price, Mr. Bull. And if we make a new low, it all resets. NVIDIA down 3% now. Okay, see if we can pop back up over the opening. That was the push down and the defense I was hoping for there. Now can we clear the opening? Got to clear it.
No level, no trade, period. Make price come to you. No prediction trading. What are the break levels telling you?
Everything's telling me complex chop. You don't have to trade this. You don't have to trade this. You got to clear this opening. This 4-pack is all over the place. Small opening range. Bank holiday. I mean, is that a recipe or a what? All right, let's go back to a 1-minute chart. It's certainly not laddering back there with snappy price action at this point. Still want to see the bulls defend and get back above the opening with strength. Otherwise, I invite it to come on down. Yeah, this is Seriously, it's a day not to trade right now at this point. You add up multiple things, mixed 4-pack, small opening range, bank holiday, the a day after we've had a 2 days of 200-point run. I think there's higher probability, not think, there's higher probability days to trade. Let's go back to our home base chart, 3 minutes. Maybe it'll push down to the half back here and give us a little move. But we did the first part of the mapping. Now it really needs to get above the opening. If I wasn't already in trade, my DOM would still be closed. There's nothing on here yet that gets me excited to go, okay, for me to say the phrase, man your battle stations. And you hear me say that phrase, we are at a great location where where I will be trading and where I believe a great trade exists. That's how I view it. I'd rather you stay flat. Patience is a position. Flat is a position. There's easier days to trade than what we're seeing stack up here. And it might be way better this afternoon. Like we might look at this chart this afternoon and go, oh yeah, let's go. So I invite new lows for sure. Oh, I got to change this to, I think it's, nope. Let's go to here. There we go. I've got a new monitor, so I've got all kind of new settings I have to deal with. All right, let's adjust this. All right, let's see if it wants to make a new low and then ladder. Let's go take a peek at NQ. Jeez. Dow looks like it's wanting to come back inside. And we said if Dow decides to come back inside, we got to be real careful. We might have a nice little move to the downside on our hands. But I truly think this is untradeable. And I was rushing back for this. All right. Let's come down into this type of deal here. It bounced the first time, but it didn't ladder. So not interested. First ladders are dangerous. And we were wanting to see that first ladder get back above the opening. Didn't do it. Oh, well, next trade. Next trade. This is like watching paint dry or glue dry, like Darren said. Mixed 4-pack, small opening range, bank holiday, no level development. Strict 3-minute core strategy. You got Jack, I think. And kind of come up with your recipe of um, when these conditions exist, I know I need to walk. Only you know you. And that's why I'm trying to point out those conditions. Because you might discover, man, loathe trading bank holidays. And typically that is very, very true. Then you add in a small opening range, like, oh, shoot me in the head. Then you get a mixed 4-pack, shoot me in the head. Thank you, Jackie. But let's see if we can come down to the halfback and give us a little something, something. This would not be a surprise, but NQ did not, although it hung out at its halfback forever. NQ is coming into a 30-minute level, so getting interesting. Let's see what happens. Once again, we want to see laddering back. I would not be doing a limit order long. If you do that, if you want to do a limit order long, I would do it closer to like 28 and have you a paper cut stop. Not favorable trading conditions. Oh, you're talking about his question. Just it's sometimes noteworthy. Sometimes MES goes many points further than ES does, and if you're trading MES, that might be valuable to know. Yeah, I hate to say that the best advice is don't trade right now. Let's wait. I'm gonna go refresh my coffee. I'll be right back.
Bigger picture. Single prints. Ranges.
All right, pushed a new low there. It looks like. See if we get some snapping. Let's go ahead and drop to a time frame. Dropping time frames here. See if we can get a laddering action. Right now for the overnight session, the laddering down seems to continue. We are leaning against the halfback area. No evidence of laddering back at all. In fact, there's no evidence of any energy in the price action. No energy. Pull up the Bull Bear scorecard here for a second. It's 5-9 in favor of the Bulls. I'm at the Bears. I'm only dropping in time frames to look for evidence of laddering. The first suggestion of evidence, which is what? Price has got to come up. It's got to come back down. It's got to be defended and get above the opening. Without that happening, I have no interest in longing here. Nor am I shorting just in front of the halfback. So, no, thank you.
Should I be trading?
No.
Am I biased? Am I following price or fighting price?
Should I be trading? Is that not a great question? All right, let's pop the opening. Wow. Okay, come on. See if we can clear this opening.
Stretch. Workout. Get up.
Back to the opening and failing. Let's see if they can push price back up and take the opening now. Or let's make new lows. Once again, when the Bears can't create a backside, though, and that's usually a problem for them. All right, now they need to get over the opening. They must get over the opening now. It made it down into the zone that we were interested and looking for a possible trade. Now it needs to ladder. It bounced here. Now it needs to get over the opening. And dude, we're almost like an hour into trading and we've done nothing other than me telling you not to do anything as much as I could. Maybe highs and lows here in 2 minutes. Certainly establishes a new edge. Nothing here that entices me to trade at all. One of the things in your journal, maybe make a special day there that says bank holiday. I don't know if that's like standard one, but you can certainly create that in the settings for your uh, Trader Meditations journal. I'm going to go back to a 3-minute chart. We're having no evidence of laddering yet. We got to get up over that opening. Let's just clean up the chart a little bit. And a lot of times you'll see in this type of situation, it just needs one more little grab and pop. Make sure my drawing tools are correct. When we in the group, we mentioned that this morning when we're talking about, I don't have my Discord up, but no level development, just the ugliest London session, bank holiday. It's a recipe, all right. Bottom of the hour here.
IB high, IB low.
So the downward trend line here from the overnight is continuing. We're sandwiched against the halfback. Certainly can't look to go short here. If anything, I'm looking for a turnaround to be able to go long. Nothing has been presented. Still a very mixed 4-pack. My goodness. Nothing on top of nothing. All right, one more push down. Come on. One more push down, then give us a strong ladder back. Took the IB low. Laddering down continues. Got to wait for a laddering sequence. So take a peek at Tesla here. Take a peek at NVIDIA. Yeah. Okay. My goodness. Know when not to trade. Certainly helps put the odds in your favor. You know, just avoiding a day like this and going, I'm not taking any trade on this chart. Live to trade another day. So far, it is certainly not the type of price action you want to get yourself into trouble, because you aren't going to get yourself out of trouble. If you're break even or small red or small green, starting to consider just shutting it down for the day. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do after this. I normally kind of watch price action, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. So much easier to trade when we're on the same train, or NQ's hitting a bounce level and we're about to hit a bounce level, and none of those conditions exist. Joe, because we're right against the RTH halfback. We are laddering down. We are laddering down, but we're also still above previous day halfback. That's how I look at it. In the AM briefing, I said most important line today is the
No
halfback.
level, no trade, period. Make price come to you. No prediction trading. What are the break levels telling you?
And we're still above it. Zoom out let's zoom out for a second. Let's turn off all of this. Let's turn this off. Let's go to a 10-minute chart. So if you just look at this, obviously we got this monster cluster of candles here against this halfback. I can't short right here. You've got to expect, if you short here, for example, and I'm not saying that's what you were suggesting, but if a person shorts here, that means you are basically saying we're going to collapse right here, right now. I'm just not interested in that. I have to lean on the side of the bulls. 2 days, we came down to the top of this range, closed inside, gapped up to here, broke out above, basically retested it here. I've got it. My eyeballs just has to be on long right now. I did map out 2 shorts last night in the battle plan, but we didn't get near either of them. So I still have to be on team bull based upon trade location. But it's also not a trade location I'm willing to die on the hill to be long. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, I'm just there. This is not a trade location I'm willing to die on the hill. If I miss a beautiful long, oh well. And I just can't short this close to halfback. I mean, look at NQ. Hit the halfback and spent 8 hours. It's finally broke it. Yeah. I just can't trade that. I don't know how to do that. This is just crap price action. I recommend no trade. My goodness, we're almost done. Now, if you'd have been up at midnight, that would have been a decent short to take. But other than that, I'm not sure what you would take. I actually was awake for this. I was like, okay, let's see what happens. See if London's going to grab the Asia low and go back. And then it just did this side. And I went, I'm out. Going back to sleep. I was lightly watching it. I don't think we missed anything. There's nothing on here I think we missed for us to go, my goodness, why did we miss that? Let's bring back on the strong levels. I'm in a beautiful bounce at the top of it, but doesn't mean I was going to go short. And Joe, just for me in general, I am rarely short. I believe we could all look at an ES chart and go, this is an upward moving instrument. Every month, people's retirement checks are buying more S&P 500. Every month, money is pouring into it. It's a tough instrument to be short on. I do call out some. I am in some shorts, but in general, I will typically miss the vomit and be in the ladder back. That is typically what I'm in, like this. I was not in this move. Don't care. I'm really good at mapping out where do I want to be looking for longs, and I'm in this. I treat shorts as microwave trades and longs like ovens. So
Bigger picture. Single prints. Ranges.
So rarely will you see me be short. Doesn't mean there aren't shorts, but I'm definitely biased to the long side because ES is a long-based instrument. I think it's impossible to look at that chart and think anything else. And it wasn't too long ago, I did a video for the group where back in April, where there was that big vomit move down, how many amazing short squeezes there were. We're really good at identifying where those happen. There was the tariff liberation day, right? But in that vomit, if you go back and look, there are some vicious, amazing short covering rallies. And then we made new highs, right? We made new highs. For some, I'm certainly not saying it for you, but there's many ES and NQ traders who just, they have to call the top. It's just it's in their DNA. And I'll just let it vomit and vomit and vomit and then trade the turnaround. So certainly the laddering down is continuing. That doesn't mean I have to be short. I'm not going to short against the halfback. I'm not going to short against an RTH low. I am certainly, we're just in the middle of previous day range. Who in the world says I cannot wait till we get into the middle of the RTH range and trade? If you do, the first touch on the halfback is a decent trade. After that, by definition, we aren't at an edge. We are certainly just in the middle. Dow is being strong. NQ is not. ES usually gets stuck. It's not worth opening your DOM. Or at least come back in the afternoon. So I will not be extending our Zoom this morning. We will be ending it on time just because I don't think this should be traded. And we're certainly not out on a location on a chart that I want to trade. So it is what it is. Your mileage may vary. I got nothing. Since it's slow, I just wanted to give you a heads up. Darren, I'll take care of that ASAP. Okay. Um, as soon as I see that come across, I'll take care of what I need to take care of. Okay. And after you do it, just hang tight and I'll upgrade your permissions and we'll private message on the academy. Okay. And just to make sure that you're squared away. In fact, I'm going to send you a private message right now on the website.
Stop trading in 10 minutes. Only trade your best trading hours. Take a break. Walk away. Be done. Be content. Adjust afternoon risk settings.
Wow. Absolutely nothing, guys. And sometimes the most valuable thing I can tell you is don't trade this. It really is. No level, no trade, period. End of the story. There are no levels here. Bank holidays typically lend itself to this type of price action. Of course, a tweet at any moment could change all of it, right? So for your journaling purposes, mention bank holiday, small opening range, and a mixed 4-pack is usually the recipe to not trade at all. If you're older like me, I can only look at the chart for so many hours a week before I'm just done. So on a day like this, I know, hey, just walk away, save some energy in the gas tank, preserve the mental and emotional equity, and let's wait till there's better trading days. I mean, sure, I wish I could have said, hey, short this strong level right here. But that's not what we're looking for at that time, in my opinion. You also had a nice long off the single prints if you took that. But we got no laddering. And in this environment, I want laddering as confirmation. NQ still pushing down. One of these aren't like the other. Maybe if NQ grabs this RTH low, maybe there'll be something there. But with Dow going straight up and NQ going straight down, ES usually doesn't go anywhere. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go to the grocery store because I'm going to make homemade sloppy joes tonight. I've always used the can, and I don't like that it has high fructose corn syrup. So I looked up some recipes of making my own sloppy joes. So I'm going to go to the store and get a couple things. What a battle in just nothing. There's no sellers, there's no buyers. Don't participate in this. I hope that makes sense. I know it does. Six minutes to the top of the hour. Now, if it gave one of, I'm always looking for that one more dip and then evidence of laddering. You see that a lot. And so that's kind of what I'm eyeballing here. Can we get that? I mean, I love to get us into trades, but today's not the day. And if you took that 44 to the 42 and put that stop one tick underneath that, like I told you, that was a paper cut loss. If you did the opening, what is it, a 2-point stop loss? Yeah, 2 points. Worst case, you got hit with 4 points there. Usually not a bad trade. And we were really looking for laddering. Give us laddering. Get back up over this. This is what I really wanted. I would have considered adding to my long had we done that. All right, NQ is still barreling down. Still going straight up. Slop and chop recipe.
Stretch. Workout. Get up.
All right, make a new low. Let's see what happens here. Well, I wish it was better, guys. It is what it is. Try it again later. I'm still long and hopeful. Yeah, you can delete my screenshots. All right, let's see if we get this dip and ladder back above. We'll see if this can happen here. See if we get into a trade. I'm doubting it. Can I be honest? If my goal every day is to keep you on the right side of price action, I think the right side today is don't trade. Wow. All right, guys. I'm not going to force myself to watch this any longer. You get really good at knowing this is not my price action. I'm going to walk, and you walk. Don't try to find a trade in here right now. My humble opinion, you do you. But I think that's going to be it for me.